This is really neat right here. You got the asterisk type one in it. Directly facing flush with it, directly behind it is a triangle structure back there. And a lot more neat little structuring. A lot of times these ones that are leaned up and point at where there's a central point. Actually, that point's supposed to go directly down on it. It's right where that bark's peeled. It's getting hard to be out here because of the snow. It's knee deep almost, so it's really hard to walk. It takes about 50 times more energy to get through here. Some more of their little structuring. It's worth it though. It's absolutely beautiful out here. We were getting you know, almost negative 40 below some of these days and evenings. But today we had well, last night the temperature spiked up to, I think today it's like 24 degrees or something. Wow, there's a beautiful structure. You know, and yeah, people might say that fell on it, which could have been a possibility. But I'm saying even if it did fall on it, they structured after the fact. All this here, and you can see it. You can see where the structuring is off all this. You got the bend, but then what I call the entry marker. This one don't bend over so far, but they break it off, and it's always bolt. That's actually a trident. I'd say 95% of the time it's out of a hardwood tree, which that one is. It's an ironwood. I don't have a whole lot of battery life, so I'm probably gonna shut it off for a bit here. Here's our little structure. Let's see. I thought it was glued together. A lot of these will be glued together, but you can see it's definitely structured there. Which there'll probably be a seat spot right here. Wow. So this is funny. So the one, you know, that supposedly took out that tree and bent it, right? But here's another one. Anyways, it bends. You know, that one could have started bending it, but it finishes bending. And it happens to end up right at the base of the other tree, or the top of it, structured. This is all structured. There's too much here. Like I said, when you do this long enough, you'll realize that a lot of everything will be structured. Even if it falls, it'll be structured after the fact at some point. This is really cool. I think that was a snowmobile making that noise. Almost sounded like a cow. So you got the one bend coming in, all this structured. Look at the one underneath. Totally comes the opposite way. Don't even hit. Kind of sounds like a cow mooing over there. Anyways, and then after they did all this, they come out with another one. That'll be tucked into something. Wow, look at this one. I think this is going to be one of the ones that might outline the trees when you line up right. They do that a lot. I'm coming up to the top of one of the highest points here in the area. Once I get up here, I think I'm going to be able to see quite a ways. That's beautiful. Really cool. Here's the things you'll notice with their structure and that a lot of people don't notice. The lean one, right? Now look at this branch. It's like it's a line and it keeps going. I was going to shut off my video, but oh, here's another one. See the dead one, dead center. And it's like broke off. A lot of times those are meant for lineup points for the top of that or whatever. Wow, this is really pretty in here. I think there's a lake. It looks like a lake way down over there. I thought that was something down there, a person. Right there, it's just paint. A dark spot. There's a teepee right here, teepee type structure. Once again, this is cool, absolutely done. All the ones they placed in here, similar. You'll see here, all debarked. All these, they specifically chose, are all the same coloration, all debarked. Into wow, kind of a lean-to looking thing, teepee type thing. Wow, that is beautiful. I wish I would show up better. Well, guys, bye. I was looking at the broke off one here, but then the leaf hang, it finishes it. Otherwise there's a gap. Maybe like that. You can see where they brought them all into the exact same point. Triangled it. Just had a knock noise. Sound like a knock. You know, and I didn't think they were here this time of year, and maybe they're not all here, but I definitely don't think they're here all the time in a physical form. I really don't. You know, you get all the snow in the trees that hang, there'd be disturbances. There's some trees without snow, and they all got snow. But at the same time, you know, this time of year, I have now had like wood knocks. I've had like where I'm videoing, and a branch will fall out of one tree, and then the tree will start moving. But it's not just that tree, it'll be all of a sudden the next one will move, and then the next one will move. So it's like something's going through the trees, but you can't see it. And that's why I keep an open mind. You know, you don't know until you really never know until you start experiencing certain things that say otherwise. But then even then, maybe something more will be added to it to where it might blow your mind down the line. And it's okay to think you're pretty sure that something's a certain way, but don't ever be stuck in it. Because if you are, you will never get anywhere. Here's another thing I notice. When you hit bigger tree forests, it may seem like there ain't as much structure, which there really ain't down low, but a lot of times you'll see like a teepee structure out of big trees. All of a sudden there'll be like 5, 6, 7, 8 trees that all of a sudden line up in an exact spot toward don't in another direction. And there'll be like a pathway, you know, right there. That type of stuff. They're gonna log this off, I think. Yeah, I can see the lake. And I just gotta be careful to make sure there's no houses up here. It goes to like a footpath where you can travel on a gate. Oh, it looks like a big swamp. I think it's a lake over there though. This one's really cool. This is, you know, the bend. But they lodged one in right here to make the asterisk. I'll show you. Right there. But everything here now, all this little stuff is structured right behind the bend. You'll see it here in a second. Right here. See it? All this is them. That's cool as heck. It looks like we got, it's really, really dark over there. It's almost like we got a big storm coming in. I am absolutely dressed for it. I can sit out in the, I got long johns on, and this is for hunting. I can sit and, you know, I've sat in probably 40 below weather in a deer stand a long time ago with this on, and like no wind gets through it. It is so warm. The only thing that'd ever get cold on me with this outfit on would be my feet, but I have battery powered heated socks now. They're amazing. Like, they'll last for about 4 hours on high temp, and your feet never get cold in any temperature. Well, guys, bye. Whew. I'm a little winded from walking. This is what I'm talking about. Bigger forests. All of a sudden you'll come across this, like where you hit a spot, and all of a sudden everything, even in the background and the foreground, will all come to one point. But even right here in this area, you can see structure, right? The X with the long bend. But then right over here, you got a big bend where it breaks off. The two lean the opposite way. See where this bend will cross right at the Y? And then you have another one broke down and laid across. That one's actually like let's see if I can see it here. That one, where it's broke, but it's A-framed. It's really cool when you're on the other side of it. I didn't even know what was behind me. They X'd it. It's got to be a spot here, an area where they'll have seat spots here. But I think I'm supposed to be over a little bit. You see how it all comes together now? This way and this way. And then the rest of their structure. Look at, here's your entry marker tree, where they, not entry marker, like a trail marker type thing, where it bends weirdly. There's some really neat structuring right up here. Look at that, guys. That is so neat. You can see how, like, this one will finish off that one, and so on. This one will finish off. You see how it looks like it continues? And then the one that comes right off perfectly here continues to the next ones. Wow. Same with, look at this one. You got the X, the skinny one down the center. But where this one goes, now this branch finishes it off all the way down. Man, that's neat. Beautiful. Man, this is so neat. And as you walk around this stuff, you'll know it in the summertime, spring, or when the ground's bare. You can find their seat spots, and when you sit in them, these things will line up in really neat ways. So it's like one direction it'll line up with things, you know, in a really neat way, and then another direction, say another seat spot, this same structure in front will line up with other structures. I don't know, I used to call it four-dimensional structure, because I don't know, some people are like, it's not four-dimensional. Like, whatever. So I just kind of explain it, what I'm seeing anyways. Look how tight that bend is. So there'll be a seat spot here somewhere, possibly right here. And when they do seat spots, a lot of times it'll be like right in the crook of something, or you'll see their structuring right there. But right here, I think it is, because look at the X right behind it. right back there. And it fits right in that. Some people think you're nuts, but if you really open your mind and get out here, you'll really start to see it. That's cool. See the asterisk? Wow. I feel like it's gonna storm, like a snowstorm. Look at this one. I'm definitely in their area here. Got the bend, one behind and then in front lodges it, but then two perfectly in one spot. Yeah, this is their spot. This is one of their main hangouts. Here's another one that'll outline trees, I think. Get the snow off it. Probably both ways. Really cool. See how it's outlining? Same with the, see the first smaller ones in the background? Outlines it. Well guys, same thing here. We're a bunch all coming to that exact point. Up and to the right of it is a beautiful X. I'm gonna shut my video off here, and there's pine trees up here I want to go into. I'll see what I find up there. Bye. So I'm coming into the pine trees. Right behind me you have structure. And then as you're getting into the pine trees, beautiful symmetrical triangle with another leaned one under it. And then right as you look to the right, here's your structure in here and your trident. There's some leaned up in here. These are the ones that absolutely would never make it through here from a bigger tree like that. For how many branches it has to go through and end up like this, and then down to actual other structure. And that is cool. Now these are, well, let's see, I think they're spruce. Yeah, spruce trees. The wind's blowing and all the snow's falling off the trees. This is where one tree could just cover you. If one part of the snow fell, it would probably bury you part way. Not in a bad way. You could definitely get out of it, but so there'll be more than likely seat spots in here. Oops. There you go. You can see they structured that. So they leaned them all in. Another thing they'll do, and you can see these all bent in and stuff. As you go back, this looks like an old, maybe part of a logging trail or a path. But as you walk back, now these structures here will line up with the structures behind me. I wish they'd leave some of our forest be, you know, as soon as they reach where they can log them, they log them. They don't. There's a big bird up there. Just flew out of there. Looks like a big, I don't know, eagle maybe. A big raven or something. Anyways, I wish they'd leave more areas. Just let them grow, you know, and become old growth forests. It's a world of greed. The trail I came in on is over there. I walked up they have it plowed. But I walked up up top the hill. Figured I'd walk in and then I'd be able to walk the deep snow down the hill most of the way back to my truck. Oh man, look at this. Watch this, they have one broke right behind it too. Look at the one leaned up and in and wraps up. Look at that one right behind it. I gotta get a picture of that. I covered my phone. Snow's falling on it. It goes into one coming through. Is a fork into a trident. You see the bent one now? That's probably a lineup point for the trident. And that one broke one in the background might be a lineup point for that second spot. I think it's supposed to be something like that. That's cool. Sometimes I think these spruce trees have nests in the top of them for the smaller beings. There's a being that I have, I find the evidence of them all the time. And the ones I almost certain I filmed, you can actually see a hand, like it's picking bark off a triangle structure, and then you can see it cup to the side. They weren't big beings. And most of the seat spots and areas I hit are, you know, you get the big seat spots with also a bunch of small seat spots in areas, like hundreds of small seat spots, like the size of my hand. But sometimes I think they might go into the trees, I don't know, like up in the tops of these pines or whatever, and maybe nest in them, or just some thoughts, I guess. See, all of these are laid in. It's getting windy. I heard they were, I don't know, I heard different dates, but January for most of them, I think, where they're talking about turning on 5G to a more full extent. Now, I don't know if anybody's looked into it or not, but the last pandemic is when they when the radio towers went up, which puts out, you know, frequencies. This pandemic, which I think 2022 will possibly be worse than the effects of 2021 and 2020. But this pandemic, it's 5G frequencies. If you look into, and you can find this right in the people who explain 5G and the frequency it puts out and stuff. Now, if you look at the frequency that affects, it literally affects your oxygen levels. 5G vibrates exactly at that at that frequency. I don't know. Now that's a twisted tree. Holy moly. Wow. Here's your entry marker out of a hardwood tree. That one's I think it's an ash tree. It's like it's a hardwood tree, but it's a really, really light tree at the same time. Bent over, broke off. Look at the one broke in the background. There's actually two, so those will probably be lineup points. But then look at above me. One hung, probably be lineup points. See how it finishes it? See that? Just like that. Look at that. Wow. Well, guys, bye.